Let's talk about a possible future of education. I want to do this by looking at past requirements of education, current requirements of education, future requirements of education, and a potential model for how we meet these requirements. Okay, my first car out of college, in high school actually, was a 1961 Ford Falcon. Not much of a car, but it got me where I needed to go. But here's the point. I can look at that engine. I can tell you all the pieces. There's the battery, there's the valve cover, under there are the spark plugs, and there are the cylinders. There's a starter engine around here somewhere, and then the generator that keeps it going. It's a very simple machine. And the other thing is, you can't see it at this angle, but if you look in here right, you can see the ground. That's kind of, so I had an auto mechanic that would fix that car if I needed to. Now I have an auto technician for my 2014 Toyota Prius. And I look at that engine. I have no idea what that stuff is. There's two systems in there, a hybrid engine, electric engine and a combustion engine. But all I know is if I touch the wrong thing, I could get electrocuted. So I'm afraid to change the windshield wiper fluid. So I take it to my auto technician. Now, in the future, probably I'm going to have a Google car. Google car is going to make all the decisions, and I don't know what we call the person who fixes that. But here's the problem. Everything that car does has to be pre-programmed. So here's a question that has to be answered. You're driving down the road in the Google car, the brakes go out. No way to stop the car. Now you can talk to other cars and they'll all stop to let you through. But the sensors tell you on the left side of the road is an elderly lady with a stroller. On the right side of the road is a young mother with a carriage. Who are you going to run down? You can go on either sidewalk. You're going to take out tens of people. These are the only two people in the street. Who do you run down? You try to go down the middle, glancing below the boat, but that's not the point. The point is you have to program the car in advance to make that decision. So this really isn't about auto mechanics. In the future, we have to educate people that we used to call auto mechanics, now call auto technicians. They're going to have to make life and death decisions. The world has gotten very complicated. How do we change education to do that? So I say the answer is a combination of creativity and community. We focus on creativity and community. What do I mean by creativity? Well, there's an excellent course, a MOOC from the University of Minnesota, on how do you become a creative person. And the two main things that the professor focuses on are you have to have basic building blocks. You want to be a writer, you have lots of words. You want to be a mathematician, you have to have lots of mathematical models. You have to have a large set of facts to combine, and that's where the creativity comes in. You practice at creating with those basic skills. How do you combine those in different ways? And the more building blocks you have, the more creative you can have. Now, can be. Now, here's a perfect example of how this works. At one of my education courses, when I got my teacher's license, the professor gave us a problem. It was a large lecture hall, 200-some students. He said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to number off into small groups. Each group come up and get a numbered bag. In the numbered bag, there were Lego pieces. Our assignment was to do something creative with the Lego pieces. Well, the moral of the story was there were 3 kinds of bags. One had like 6 pieces, that was Lego person. One had like 10 pieces, which was Lego car. The other had like 30 pieces, which is Lego helicopter. Well, each group that got the Lego person, guess what? They build a person. When you get 6 pieces and 3 of them are a head, torso, and legs, everything looks like a person. Now, the people who got the 10 pieces with the car, 2 of the 10 pieces are 2 sets of wheels. Everything looked like a car. There were different cars. There was a little more creativity than there was with the person, but still, it looked like a car. The people who got the bag with the 30 pieces that was supposedly a helicopter, nobody built a helicopter. Everybody built something different. If you've got lots of pieces, you can be very creative. So, that's the creativity side. On the community side, Humans have been around for 200,000 years, and for the first 197,000 of those, until we started building cities, you had to be part of a small group. Your very existence depended upon loyalty to that small group, that tribe of people. Our modern society has forgotten that. Thomas Friedman, in his new book, Thank You for Being Late, points out that there are 3 M's: market, globalization, Mother Nature, and Moore's Law. These factors are rapidly changing our society, but that still doesn't change our need for community. In fact, with everything else changing so rapidly, community is more important than ever. What's the best example of community I can come up with? Marching bands and band programs. You go over to the University of Minnesota and you hear that band play, you know those people love and care for each other. That's a real sense of community, and the excellence that comes out of that is truly amazing. So that's my idea. We've got lots of changes. We need to have a combination of creativity, focus on basics, focus on combining those basics in a creative way, but do it in a sense of community, someplace where you belong. Thanks.